It is good to be back in the home studio, ladies and gentlemen. I got on a 5 a.m. flight yesterday to get back home to Dallas. Spent a week in Boston. It was absolutely awesome, but we are back getting ready. It is MLB Draft Week. It is All-Star, about to be All-Star Week. Next week's All-Star Week, but it is MLB Draft Week. The MLB Draft's taking place on Sunday. We're going to be live for that. It's going to be absolutely awesome, but that is not what we are talking about today. Today we are talking about trade rumors and recapping the Red Sox sweep of the Washington Nationals. But before we get into that, there was news that broke last night. The reserves and the pitchers for the All-Star teams were announced, and the Red Sox had 3 All-Stars announced yesterday: Alex Bregman, Garrett Crochet, and Aroldis Chapman. I want you guys to go down below in the comments and just type congrats. I want to show love to all 3 All-Stars. Bregman is a reserve, and he's missed the last, 6 weeks? That's how good of a season he was having up until that point. So show some love to Garrett Crochet, Aroldis Chapman, and Alex Bregman. 3 off-season pickups, I might add, for making the All-Star team. Go type congrats down below in the comments. But speaking of Aroldis Chapman, could an Aroldis Chapman trade happen? A lot of speculation with the deadline looming. We are officially in July. The deadline is at the end of July. The Red Sox have a few weeks left to determine what they want to do at the deadline, and trading Aroldis Chapman is something that's been brought up by a bunch of people. And Jim Bowden of The Athletic, we talked about this article a few days ago. He put out his article of, polling National League and American League executives on who they think is the most likely players to be traded. And the number 1 relief pitcher was Aroldis Chapman. The new Red Sox All-Star was the number 1 reliever by AL and NL executives to be traded. Here's what Jim Bowden had to say about that poll. He said, the execs overwhelmingly picked Chapman as the reliever most likely to be traded in July. The 37-year-old is having a banner season, posting a 1.32 ERA over 37 appearances with 14 saves and 50 strikeouts in 34 innings. That was of last week, so those stats are a little outdated now, but you get the point. He would be a difference maker in any bullpen. 2 years ago, Chapman was traded from the Royals to the Rangers in a late June deadline deal for lefty Cole Ragans and a minor league outfielder. So, this is all under the guise. This is all under the scenario that the Red Sox are selling. And a lot of people are still on the train that the Red Sox will sell at the deadline. And I can understand that. They're only a game over 500. They've played lackluster ball all season, to say the least. And they have a gauntlet coming up out of the All-Star break of the Mets, the Cubs, Phillies, and Dodgers. Not the Mets. Cubs, Phillies, and Dodgers. Yeah, it's not great, but this team has done, I believe, enough to stay competitive, to stay buyers. So I don't necessarily think that an Aroldis Chapman trade would be a good idea. He would probably net you the best ROI, return on investment, of probably any player on the team. It's very valuable to get a flame-throwing closer-type reliever if you need bullpen help. And the way Chapman has pitched this year, he looks like a brand new man. That is so valuable for any team that is competing for a playoff spot. To have an Aroldis Chapman that has, I think, 5 times the amount of strikeouts that he does walks, that is going to garner you quite the return on investment. However, I'd keep him. Because, again, am I the overly highly optimist? Maybe. But I think the Red Sox are potentially, and I think they probably will, compete for a playoff spot. You're sitting 2.5 games back in the wild card, and I get it. Everyone's saying, Jack, you're 2.5 games, it doesn't matter. It's their wild card. It's a playoff spot. Do you want the Red Sox to make the playoffs or not? 2.5 games is nothing. You're about to play the Rockies in a 3-game series, which I would expect them to sweep. you can make up some ground and you can be competing for a wild card spot going into the trade deadline. You need Chapman in this bullpen if you want to be successful. We're going to talk about some more reasons here in a second. But first, you let me know, would you trade Aroldis Chapman? If you were Craig Breslow, the GM of the Boston Red Sox, would you trade Aroldis Chapman? T for trade, K for keep. Let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Like I said, I would keep him, and the reason why is your bullpen needs him. Your bullpen has been stellar this season, no doubt. They've had their flame-ups. There's been some blown saves. Yes, of course. But for the most part, your bullpen has been one of the most consistent, best parts of your team in its entirety. However, you are starting to see the cracks assemble. Justin Slayton is on the 60-day IL. We will not see him at the earliest until the end of July. Brendan Bernardino and Greg Weissert are both taxed to the brim. We're going to talk about Weissert in this recap. They both need rest because they have both been overused up the wazoo. And then the rest of your options are shaky at best. Justin Wilson's been good. He was a little shaky yesterday. Jordan Hicks, you still don't know what you're going to get from him. He's had one really good outing and two shaky outings. Zach Kelly, I don't want to touch Zach Kelly with a 10-foot pole. And then there's others in the bullpen. Garrett Whitlock has looked pretty good as of late. Alcala, hit or miss. You need the stability of Aroldis Chapman in your bullpen. If you truly are looking to win now, and you truly believe that you are pushing for a wild card spot and could make the playoffs, if you believe that, which I think the Red Sox do, and again, over-optimist over here, I believe that, then you need your closer. You cannot give him away to another team that is competing for those same playoff spots. So personally, I would not trade him. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's worth it. You need that stability in the bullpen, and he is having close to a career year. He is pitching the best he's pitched in years. You need that. So for those reasons, I would not trade Aroldis Chapman at the deadline, even though, like I said, executives overwhelmingly picked him to be the most obvious trade candidate for a reliever. I don't think it makes sense, so I would keep him. We're going to talk about the game here in a second, but make sure you hit that subscribe button. If the Red Sox make a trade, we will have a video. We will break down everything you need to know. We did that for the Rafael Devers trade. We made shorts for, even the Zach Penrod trade we made a short for. We will make videos for every single trade that happens, and we're also going to be live for the 2025 MLB Draft next Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button. Join the family today. Let's talk about it. Red Sox win 6-4. You sweep the Washington Nationals. You actually were the Grim Reaper for the Washington Nationals. Later last night, the Nationals fired their manager and GM after you've completed the sweep. Now, the Nationals haven't been a good team this year. They've only won 37 games. They're not a good team. But you were the Grim Reaper. You were the catalyst for the Nationals to basically tear it down, and you win 6-4. This was the most high-pressure game of the entire series. The first two games you won in absolute blowouts. This one was a bit of a closer contest. Garrett Crochet was not his best self yesterday. He gives you 5. Great. 9 hits, 2 walks, 11 base runners. Not ideal. 7 Ks and 5, really good. 2 runs, not ideal. He was lacking command today. It was a very inefficient outing for him. He got to 98 pitches in only 5 innings. And look, 5 innings for Crochet, fantastic, great. You got 5, you only gave up 2 runs, awesome. But Garrett Crochet is held to a higher standard than most of the pitchers in the staff. So I am going to call him out a little bit, and I'm sure that he would do the same thing. Lackluster, to say the least. Still pitched 5 innings, only gave up 2 runs, did what he needed to do. Great. But there was some cracks there. And, of course he's going to bounce back. He just got, named to the All-Star team. It'll be fine. But, to say the least, something to think about. Garrett Whitlock gives you a perfect 6th inning. No issues there. Justin Wilson comes in. The 7th inning was the real dicey inning. Justin Wilson comes in, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run. He does get you 2 outs. So at that point, it is, I believe, 5-4, 5-4, 5-3, 5-3. It's 5-3 at that point. Well, actually, sorry, I'm completely getting everything off base. Justin Wilson gets the earned run, but he's not the one that gives up the earned run. Who gives up the earned run is Greg Weissert, who comes in to finish out the inning. He walks 2, walks in a run, could not hit the broad side of a barn to finish that inning. Thankfully, he got a pop-up to end the inning, but he looked gassed. Greg Weissert, I don't know if it's a phantom IL stint. I don't know if it's just not pitching him for a few days. He needs rest. He's the most appearances, I believe, in all of the American League, maybe all of Major League Baseball at this point. And you can tell that he is absolutely cooked. Again, he could not hit the broadside of a barn yesterday. It was not good. And he needs some rest because you can't walk in runs, especially against the Nationals when you are barely clinging on to a lead. That cannot happen. He gets out of the inning, thankfully, and then he does what he does. You bring in Chapman in the 8th, 2 strikeouts, only 1 hit, no runs, and then Jordan Hicks comes in to get you the save. A little lackluster, a walk and a hit. He does give up a run, but he does close it out at the end of the game, and the Red Sox end up with the win. Jordan Hicks, I still don't know how to feel about him. He is the lone piece on this Major League roster so far that you got in the Rafael Devers trade, so we'll see what happens. He's got really good stuff. If he can hone it in, it really is his command. His command is the issue. If he can hone it in and pick his spots, I think he could be really valuable. His stuff is very tantalizing, but he needs to clean it up, to say the least. Offensively, not as big of an onslaught as 2 days ago. I didn't expect that, though, because this lineup was a lefty lineup, like to face a lefty pitcher. So you didn't have what I would consider your best guys in the lineup. You had Connor Wong in the lineup, Ref Snyder, who's good, and Romy, who's good, but I would, I think there's other options there. You had Nate Eaton leading off again. Not your best, most optimal lineup, to say the least. But you jump out to a 4-0 lead in the first inning, which is exactly what you need to do. If you get runs early, you take all the pressure off your starting pitcher, and for them to do that, it was great. Rob Ref Snyder had, a 2-run double? 1-run double. It was an RBI double. Trevor Story hits a home run, 2-run home run in the first. Like they were going on all cylinders, and it was really great to see. Like I said, Nate Eaton went 1 for 2 today. Then Marcelo Meyer came in. Romy Gonzalez 2 for 4 today with an RBI, looked good. Roman Anthony goes 1 for 5. He has 2 strikeouts, but he does have an RBI, so his OPS goes back under 7. He's got an average of 229. That's okay. It is what it is. Not a big deal. Rob Ref Snyder goes 1 for 5 today. Had an RBI. Trevor Story 1 for 4, but he did have the 2-run home run. Trevor Story is so back. It's not even funny. It's really good to see. He's got his OPS over 7 now, which is awesome to see. Jaron Duran goes 1 for 4 today. A bit of a quiet day for him. Abraham Toro goes 2 for 3. Connor Wong goes 0 for again. I don't even know what to tell you at this point. And then Ceddanne Rafaela goes 3 for 4. Has a home run, a very crucial home run for a very crucial insurance run. When was it? In the 9th. Crucial insurance run by Ceddanne Rafaela. Ceddanne Rafaela is one of your best players on your team right now. He is probably going to win Series MVP on Section 10, I would assume. And he's just been one of the best surprises on this team so far this year, because I don't think a lot of us had the expectations for Ceddanne we ended up with. And it's a great thing to see. Like, I want Rafaela to succeed. I want him to be good. If he's good and he's going, that's a great sign. He had another great day for the Red Sox. All right, that's all I got to say about the game. You sweep what you needed to do. You needed to leave no doubt. This is a bad team. You should beat bad teams. And you've got a chance to do that again, headed home tonight at Fenway Park against the Colorado Rockies, the worst team in baseball. They should sweep the ever-living hell out of this team. They should win, 6 straight? Yeah, because they lost the last game against Cincinnati, so that should be 6 straight. That should be 8 of their last 9. Like, this is your chance to make up ground, and you should leave no doubt. You should sweep this team. This is a bad Rockies team, but you let me know. Do the Red Sox sweep the Rockies? All you got to do is type Y for yes if you think they do, type N for no if you think they don't. I'm never going to pick a sweep because it's baseball and weird things can happen, so I'll say 2 out of 3, but I do think it probably should be a sweep, but that's all I'm going to say. That's it, guys. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch the video. We'll be back tomorrow with another full-length video. I have a short recapping the game tonight later on. Make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out, and until next time, go Sox.